Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, honorable judges. I'm Raya Aqilah Azahra from SMA Negeri 1 Banjarnegara, here participating in NSDC 2026 as the first speaker of the proposition team. Our motion today is this House would prioritize preserving cultural traditions even at the cost of slowing social progress. First, I would like to define our motion. Preserving cultural tradition. Under this motion, this means we protect the Rumah Adat system. Specifically, the three things. Land belongs to the clan, not individuals. The elder council makes the big decisions, and young people must complete the 1-year apprenticeship. While the slowing social progress means we slow down things like individual land ownership, giving youth total freedom to live without permission and changing the inherent rules. Ladies and gentlemen, progress is useless if it destroys the community. Rushing into modern individual ways will break the Kairan community. Keeping them together as culture is the main priority. So the purpose of this debate is preserving cultural traditions specifically means legally and financially protecting the Rumah Adat system, including collective land ownership, elder-led community decision-making, and the mandatory youth cultural apprenticeship. Now, let's move on to the arguments. I have 2 arguments to present today. First is about securing collective land as a shield against exploitations. Protecting collective land ownership is the ultimate shield for the Kairan community. Under the Rumah Adat system, land belongs to the clan, not individual. This prevents anyone from selling it. Now, the opposition might want to rush individual land rights as progress, but in developing areas like Aruna, individuals often lack financial security. If you give them individual titles, big urban corporations will come with bags of quick cash. People who are struggling will be tempted to sell their land piece by piece. Look at the case of Aruna itself. The national government and urban civil society are already pushing for individual land ownership. If this reform wins, the legal protection for the Rumah Adat system is destroyed. Once the individuals sells their land to outsiders, the clan loses its territory. Without ancestral lands, the ceremonies cannot be happened and the elder loses their authority. So, slowing down the system and individual right is necessary, and it is the only way to prevent the Kairan community from becoming homeless and displaced in their own province. Collective land keeps them safe. Second argument is that the mandatory youth apprenticeship is essential to keep the community alive and unified. Ladies and gentlemen, the young people can leave for urban jobs immediately without elder approval. When the youth leaves without cultural foundation, there will be 2 major problems happens. First, the youth faced identity crisis and exploitation in cities because they lack guidance. Second is that the village loses its future generation, causing the Kairan community culture to die out completely. The info slide states that during this 1-year apprenticeship, youth learns the Kairan language, oral history, farming rituals, weaving, and tradition dispute resolution. This is not a waste of time. This is their education, and this teaches them how to resolve conflicts peacefully and give them unique skill set before they enter mainstream education or urban employment. Therefore, prioritizing this tradition, even if it delays urban employment by 1 year, is a smart long-term strategy. It ensures that when Kairan youth go to the city, they go as proud ambassadors of their culture and not as individuals who lost their identity. Ladies and gentlemen, progress should never demand the death of a culture. We can always build modern infrastructure and adapt to the future later. But once the Rumah Adat system and the Kairan identity are destroyed, we can never get them back. We choose to protect the people, we choose to protect the land, we choose to protect the future generations of Aruna, and by these reasons, I proudly propose. Thank you.